Hey there. Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the listen/watch live button. And while you're there, it will put you right in the chat room. Join the conversation. It's Tuesday night. It's a packed night. We are hitting the midweek showstoppers. We had Ralph Chittum on right before me. Great show. Great man. Then you have the Reaver of Common Sense show with me, Jersey Joe, for the next 2 hours. And at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 8 p.m., I think, Pacific Standard Time, you will have... Oh, God. Damn it. I had it right there. I had everything right there, and I went and screwed it up. Leave it to Jersey Joe to screw it up. Everybody said Joey fucked up. Okay. That I would like to see if anybody could find out where I got that from. And at 11 p.m., we will have BZ's Berserker Bobcat Saloon. Belly up to the bar and get some information. He'll be telling you it like it is. I love his show. I don't think there's a show on SHR Media now that I don't like. There has been in the past, but it was sub-broadcasted out of other places. But yeah, it's... Can't like everything or everybody, can we? Shea LaBelle, whatever this asshole's name is, the one that was in Transformers. He's in the news again. He got arrested just over the weekend in Savannah, Georgia. Well, he was cursing and calling a police officer a stupid bitch. And the body camera footage published by a local ABC affiliate shows the Transformer star profane tirade aimed at his arresting officers. I'm going to play the audio and let it speak for itself. This is a young man who, I guess, let stardom go to his head. He thinks he's more important than he actually is. He thinks that people really give a shit what he thinks. There's a small group that might care what he's saying, Majority of us really don't give a shit. We see you as a freaking cuckoo bird. All right, here it is in his words. Maybe not.
What did I do, sir?
Bro, why you drilling my face?
I have rights.
I have
I'm an
rights.
American.
Come on, talk to me.
You got me in my hotel, arrested me in my hotel for doing what, sir?
Let's go.
Yo, you really got these cuffs on me heavy, bro.
I'll fix it. Yeah.
Let me out.
Listen, can we talk, me and you?
No, we can't talk nothing.
Listen, I'm not the one that arrested you.
How you doing,
Okay.
guest? 6'4", 3'6".
Fucking arms.
So we're not gonna have a conversation?
No,
Okay.
you gonna put these shits off my arms, or you be fucking fucked.
I forgot to warn, there is a lot of foul language.
You got a president that don't give a shit about you, and you stuck in a police force that don't give a fuck about you. So you want to arrest white people who give a fuck, who ask for cigarettes? I came up.
Real quick, he is talking to a black police officer. And he just, I'm a white guy that gives a shit.
to you trying to be nice, you stupid bitch. I came up to you asking for a cigarette, you dumb fuck. Why would I ask for a cigarette if I was racist, you stupid bitch? I was asking for a cigarette, you said no. I said word. And then you arrested me, you dumb fuck. They got cameras everywhere, you dummy. I got more millionaire lawyers than you know what to do with, you stupid bitch. I'm from it, you dummy.
Okay.
He's from it.
All right, man, just look that way and let me see your cuff, all right?
14 Alpha 1. 14 Alpha 1. 14 Alpha 1. Start EMS to our location.
Why am I in custody? The cuffs are too tight. Why am I in custody? Why am I in custody?
Yeah, and why is he in custody? Well, you were drunk and you were obnoxious. And I'm pretty sure they... Yeah, sounds like a super nice guy. Yeah, this guy, Shea LaBelle, whatever, nut job, pretty much is what he is. I mean, I'm a fucking American. I pay my taxes. Get this shit off my fucking arms. You're going to put these shits off my arm or you'll be fucking fucked. But don't forget, he's got millionaire lawyers. Millionaire lawyers. But this is Trump's fault that he's getting arrested. Yeah, he's in custody because he's a dumbass. I mean, I thought he was in some friggin' log cabin, never to be seen for like a year. You know, text messages were going to be sent to him if he had questions, and there was going to be live video of him and 6 others living in separate cabins somewhere in the mountain of Greenland or some shit like that. I see he's in Georgia already. The guy's a friggin' joke. Not even that good of an actor. And I don't know where the hell that racist stuff came up with. I mean, and he's going after a black officer, calling him a stupid bitch. That
Big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. This new year, get clean, quality, pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list, including Ritual's best-selling Essential Prenatal Multivitamin, designed with 12 traceable key ingredients to support a healthy pregnancy. With big changes coming up, take the small steps now and start today with 30% off a 3-month supply at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
was... those officers remained in control. They should have fucking, he should have fell up the steps. And anybody that's worked in EMS, police, fire, knows that term. He's an embarrassment. If you guys remember, he was doing the protests. They had a webcam set up in different locations. You would just sit there and shout at it. He will not divide us. I didn't know anybody was dividing us. Well, I shouldn't say that because Obama did a great job dividing us. The Democrat Party's been trying to divide us. But he's going after Trump. Trump's been trying to bring us together. He's the one that's been saying we need to work with Democrats. Democrats need to, start doing work and working with us. He's willing to negotiate, but they want to throw their hissy fit. And that's what it comes down to. It's these people on the left. They're afraid. They are honestly afraid, because I honestly believe Trump is trying to drain the swamp, to use his expression. Is it going to happen overnight? Hell no. Is it going to take months to years to really drain the swamp? Yes. It's a slow process because they're going to fight back. But the more and more that he drains it, the easier it becomes. Just like if you're actually draining something, when it first starts, you really don't notice the difference. Once it gets going, then you'll notice the difference. But at first, you don't notice it. And that's what I think this president's doing. And he actually gives a shit. Whereas I honestly don't believe the Democrats, they just want power. And these elitists, they know that they're going to lose some of their star power that they got with Obama. So they're fighting tooth and nail to try to keep everything they have. But people need to be a little patient when it comes to cleaning the swamp. Everybody's just expecting this shit overnight. They're expecting everything just right there, done. The swamp isn't going to go down without a fight, and we've seen it. They're tooth and nail. Dang it. I don't know what I'm telling you, it's these new meds. I getting a lot of sleep. I feel good. I'm energetic. But I got a yawn now, like nonstop. Driving me up a wall. Yes, I'm playing with markers in my hand. I turned them into a double-sided lightsaber. Yes, I can be geek. I got it for a coax cable, a female-to-female adapter, and I just slid in 2 markers my daughter has, and I'll sit here and play with it while I talk. Totally off-the-wall comment there. I have no idea. So, he's been arrested. He's been released on like $7,000 bond, which is nothing big for him, because he's got more millionaire lawyers than you know what to do with. Yeah. Yeah, I could just see him running to his defense. From things I've read is nobody's knocking down his door for movie roles. There's a lot of people sick of his shit. He thinks he's untouchable. Who would want to touch him? Is the question. So a bit of good news was announced today by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The Senate will delay the start of its annual August recess to give lawmakers more time to work on important legislative issues and helping with the backlog of President Trump's pending nominations. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday, in order to provide more time to complete actions on important legislative items and process nominees that have been stalled by a lack of cooperation from our friends across the aisle, the Senate will delay the start of the August recess until the 3rd week of July, he said in a statement. I give him credit for getting off his ass and actually doing something. But I think they knew they were in trouble if they walked away and went on a long break. It would have hurt them. I was talking to my dad, it was yesterday, and he's like, they got to at least get tax reform through. And I said, nope, they're not going to do it just yet. You're going to see tax reform probably next summer. You're going to see some ideas thrown out there, but They want something big right before the election. They need something that really stands out for the 2018 midterm election. And I know that's playing politics, but they pass it now, it'll fizzle out of their heads. It will, out of the public's eye. So I think they're going to delay that as long as they can. Damn it. This is annoying as hell. But I'm glad to see, like I said, that McConnell's getting off his ass and doing something, because I think he's one of the problem. Paul Ryan, I was excited when he was first nominated. I thought he was going to do something. He turned out to be nothing more than a younger version than John Bond. He was a sellout also. And he quickly turned coat, and anymore he acts more liberal. And one thing we got to do is stop having him write these goddamn health bills. Damn, it's not that hard, people. It really isn't that hard. They're trying to make it too complicated. Let's go down to basics. Start off, you repeal everything except for what's it called? Make it so that insurance can't turn you down because of previous health problems. That was bullshit. But then again, also, it was kind of blown out of proportion. Because somewhat what it was is, if you had a previous medical condition, you had to wait a year after changing when you went to change insurance. That was stupid. I'm not agreeing with it. But it wasn't exactly you could never get insurance again. You had to wait a year. And a lot of times that can hurt you medically. So you leave in that provision. And you just start ripping everything else out. You want to leave the government assistance up? All right. Let's open the borders. Let's not make it state by state. Let's allow these companies to just go across the borders. And I forget who it is that came up with an idea. You will still allow them to offer the plans that they have now, but make it so they can create cheaper plans that may not conform to what Obamacare wanted to lower the cost. And they need to push that this is the Democrats' fault. They need to dump this right on their lap and say either you're going to help or you're taking responsibility for the failure. This is your failure. We have been trying to do something, and you have been sitting on your ass. You've been more busy obstructing the last year than trying to fix the mistakes. Everything that's going wrong with Obamacare is what we, the Republicans, warned you of. And you did not listen. You played party politics to cover up Obama's idea. Play their game. You don't have to play it dirty and illegal like they do, but you can play their game and dump it back in their lap and just keep dumping it. Don't let them pass this off. Don't let them pass it off. But you can start by repealing certain things. Repeal the requirement. Repeal this fine. I'm sorry, it is not a tax. You know, I could polish a turd up, too. I can't call it a diamond. Well, I can call it a diamond, doesn't make it a diamond. Just as having a fine, just because you polish it up, you can't call it a tax. Because you're penalizing people for not having a certain item. So do away with that. And that'll alleviate a lot of issues right off the bat. I don't believe in expanding Medicaid either. Because the way it's set up, yes, the state gets federal assistance the first couple of years. Then after that, it gets dumped back onto the state. And most of these states will not be able to afford it. It's that simple. Start working the problem. And stop worrying about the politics, how it looked. We voted you in to get rid of this. Don't believe the Democrat bullshit. Don't believe the Democrat propaganda the sky is falling. And that's what McConnell does. They fall for it every goddamn time. How about when they said we would never win another election if the government was shut down? It was shut down. Lo and behold, Obama tried everything to punish the American people. Guess what? Republicans won the next election. And so forth and so on. Stop believing. They're going to tell you the sky is falling. We hear it every single day from the Democrats. I get to hear Chicken Little out there every single day. The sky is falling. Whether it be about Trump, Republicans, gun control, well, anti-gun control, I should put it. All right, we're going to head to a break real quick. And when we come back, we'll continue this conversation, many others. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of this episode. Damn it! I was also rushing to get back. Well, not rushing, but kind of hit it just almost perfect time. Had to, rush getting the curtain back up for the video stream, the background. My wife came home, and I told everybody yesterday my wife's grandmother passed away Saturday night. A lovely, lovely woman. So my wife was, talking to her brother or talking to her mom on the way home, and she came in the door crying. So I spent a couple minutes with her, and I'll go back out there. She's fine. She knew I had to come back to the show. But it's still, it's been a little bit rough. I feel bad for my wife's brother and his wife. His father-in-law died like 2 days before his grandmother passed away. So he's got it double. And my heart goes out to him and his wife and her family too. So it's, when it rains, it pours. It really does. So Mitch McConnell is delaying the recess, August recess. He's cut 2 weeks off of it, and he's put the blame on the Democrats. Aside from the health care bill complication, McConnell said Democrats' lack of cooperation has stalled the process of considering nominees. Trump made a similar argument earlier in the day, tweeting, "The Senate Democrats have only confirmed 48 of 197 presidential nominees. They can't win, so all they do is slow things down and obstruct." And that's what they've been doing. They've been dragging their feet. They may not have majority, but there are certain processes that they can do to slow things down. And they did it with all of the nominations. They dragged their feet on them. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer blamed Trump for having filled so few top posts halfway through his first year. This administration has sent fewer nominations to the Senate than in recent memory. And his memory is also pretty short, so we know where that comes from. It's the Democrats, nothing's ever their fault. It's always the Republicans' fault. They create a crap health bill. They screw the country up, and it's the Republicans' fault. These big cities are failing. Detroit's failing. It's the Republicans' fault. Even though there hasn't been a Republican in office in like 40, 50 years in these places. It is the party of pass the buck. Let's see who we can blame, because they are not responsible enough to take responsibility for their own fuck-ups. And it pisses me off. That's one of the reasons I got tired of the Democrat Party. It just, I'll admit I was an independent. I lean more conservative, yes. As I get older, I've gotten more conservative values. But beginning of the Obama's administration, I just watched the lies and passing the bucks and the excuses that came out every single day. And then I started opening my eyes and looking at the truth and found out the truth. I stopped listening to the party and started doing it myself. Now, you have House Speaker Paul Ryan has yet to make an announcement about his plans, whether he's going to cut short. But you do have the House Conservative Freedom Caucus that is calling for canceling or shortening, at least, of the August vacation. And they need to get off their ass and start doing stuff. The Senate tentatively has been set to go on break on July 31st. Senate Republicans over the recent July 4th recess worked on an Obamacare repeal and replacement measure after failing to get enough support to even vote on the measure before leaving Capitol Hill last month. However, they hinted that a vote could come as early as next week. In overhauling Obamacare, the GOP-led Congress is trying to give Trump his first clear legislative victory nearly 6 months after the Republicans took full control of Washington. The House in May passed its plan to overhaul Obamacare, the 2010 health care law, faltering under rising premium costs while offering Americans narrowing policy option. Meanwhile, Congress has other pressing issues, which include passing tax reform and a budget before the September 30th funding deadline. That is another one I would like to see done well before the witching hour. I'm getting tired of these last-minute hoorah, which I don't see any of it happening because each side, they're going to want to use it as leverage. Instead of trying to be responsible, get it done early and say, hey, look at us, we did our jobs, This is why you should vote for me again. But instead it's, you need to vote us in so they don't do it again. I don't know. We don't accept this behavior from our kids, but we accept it from full-grown adults that are supposed to be running the country. I will never understand it. Never understand it. There was 10 GOP senators that asked McConnell in a June 30th letter to shorten or cancel the recess after the announcement. Or they said after the announcement. Oh, my God. Oh, don't you just be alive? We are glad leadership took our concerns into consideration. Let me see some. It is what it is. But again, I'm glad to finally see they're getting off their ass. Let's see if there's any sound bites. Maybe not. Could be. Maybe. I don't know. Let's pop on the sound. It's thinking. It's thinking.
What makes Bella Natural Bites so special?
Oh, damn commercials on these damn things. Oh, I guess I gotta pay the bills. I can wait. I got all night. I got all night and half the morning. All right.
Breaking today, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has made a momentous decision to keep senators in Washington instead of going on break at the end of this month. The beginning of summer vacation is officially canceled. McConnell said he's delaying the recess until the third week of August in an attempt to pass bills and confirm the president's nominees. Mitch McConnell is blaming it all on a lack of cooperation and, hear this, obstruction by Democrats. Senate GOP leaders are struggling to get enough support, not from Democrats, but to get support from their own party. Remember, Republicans control both houses of Congress and the presidency. It is the Republicans who cannot reach consensus. It is not Democrats. Democrats are the opposition party. They stand firmly in opposition to the Senate's bills.
Sam Shepard, I wish he would go to fucking MSNBC.
Republicans who are not united, and at this point has nothing to do with Democrats.
It has everything to do with Democrats, you jackass, loudmouth piece of shit. Oh, he annoys the piss out of me. Is there opposition within the Republican Party? Yes, there is opposition. I'm not going to deny that. But he's acting like the Democrats have no say, no nothing. The Republicans do not have supermajority where they could pass anything they want without worrying about Democrats. Democrats are still needed in the process. They may be in the minority, but the Republicans do not have supermajority. Something this empty-headed, whiny-ass liberal, Sam Shepard, doesn't understand. I swear he needs to go to MSNBC or CNN. Ever since Trump was the candidate, he has turned into a whiny-ass snowflake liberal bitch. I swear. Trump exposed the fake conservatives that were in the party. And I thank him for that because he exposed a lot of people that were causing problems within the party, within the news, within the media. So, thank you, Trump, on that. He's getting shit through. That's the funny thing. I don't know all the goddamn legislation and everything that's good. There's stuff getting through because it's getting through in the background while everybody's whining about Russia. Trump's been in the background getting work done. Getting deals done. That's the funny part. And they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, he doesn't have any big, like, Obamacare push through. There's a lot of small stuff that's been done. And that starts to add up over time. And that's something Shepard doesn't seem to understand either. When will Fox get rid of that two-faced, whiny, liberal jackass? This one made me laugh. Trump is facing a lawsuit over Twitter usage. President Donald Trump has long been criticized for his Twitter use, and now he is facing a lawsuit from advocates of the First Amendment over claims that he has unconstitutionally blocked some of his critics from his POTUS Twitter account. How you doing, BZ? Getting the place cleaned up, ready to go for tonight? Just so everybody knows, BZ is in the chat room. They still have their freedom of speech. It's still there. They can still tweet, even to the POTUS account. You have the right to free speech. Doesn't mean that he has to listen. Nowhere does it say in the First Amendment that you have a right to bitch and complain and make other people listen. Last week, Trump faced backlash for his tweet about fake news, which was edited to portray him beating up a man with a CNN logo on his face. I'm still laughing over that. CNN was stupid for starting a fucking war over that. And it's still going on. People are still making memes against CNN. This lawsuit was filed Tuesday in Manhattan federal court by the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. The lawsuit says Twitter has become an important public forum for the president, and he frequently makes public announcements there. The lawsuit asks a judge to stop Trump and his media team from blocking critics from following him. I want to bang my head. I really do. I really want to bang my head really hard. The lawsuit says blocking people from following Trump's account was a viewpoint-based restriction that the Constitution does not permit. All right. This is just... Again, please show me in the Constitution where it says you have a right to be heard. You have the right to say whatever you want. Doesn't mean someone has to listen. Show me where it says that you have a right, that you have to have access to be heard or hear someone. This is a frivolous lawsuit to gain media attention. Another thing that they try to attack Trump on. This is actually old news. It has been going around for a while. And it's just a lame attempt by the Knight First Amendment Institute to try to annoy a person. That's what it comes down to. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to Reaver of Common Sense. I really got to remember to hit the mute button when I go on break. It's just been really tough, like I talked about in this household. And what makes it worse is my daughter. She's up with my in-laws, and, you know, she's putting on the brave face. They're keeping her busy, and she's, like, trying to be the big girl, and it's not bothering her when I know my daughter. I know it is, but she thinks everybody expects her to be quiet about it. So I got to wait till the 29th. She'll be back. I'll take her. You know, we'll sit down. We'll talk. I know how to get her to talk and open up. So that weighs heavy on my mind. All right. It is this. He fucking deserves this. This scumbag. Sorry excuse for a mayor deserves it. For a second time in recent memory, rank-and-file NYPD officers turned their backs in a show of solidarity against Mayor Bill de Blasio. De Blasio has taken heat from police officers for his support of Black Lives Matter protests, as well as remarks he made in the wake of the Eric Garner incident. At the time, de Blasio said he warned his multiracial son, Dante, about how to deal with police officers if confronted. 2 years after cops ignored de Blasio's speech during the funeral of slain officer Lou, the police again silently made their feelings known. De Blasio was attending the funeral for Officer Familia, a mother of three who was assassinated in her squad car last week. The mayor was blasted for jetting off to Germany to join an anti-Trump and anti-capitalistic protest during the G20 summit instead of dealing directly with the incident. The Post reported that the dozens of officers attending the ceremony at the Grand Course megachurch turned away from the mayor when he began to speak. They were seen toying with their cell phones or talking with one another, promptly turning back to face the diocese when their commissioner, James O'Neill, took over the mic. Independent mayor candidate Richard, a former NYPD gang detective, promised to give de Blasio a piece of his mind of the two passed at the funeral. If I see Big Bird de Blasio at the funeral, I intend to tell him to his face that he is a disgrace. Hang on, let me pull the secondary wife out. Pulling out the text-to-speech. Where the heck is it? There it is. There you are, my little sweetie. No, I'm not crazy. A little disturbed, but not crazy. Here, let me see what. Deedled. Where is it? Independent mayor candidate Richard Deedled, a former NYPD gang detective. If he sees Big Bird at the funeral, I intend to tell him to the face that he is a disgrace. His job calls for him to stay here and deal with the suffering city in mourning. Last week, a Republican challenger ripped the mayor in a photoshopped tweet that portrayed him enjoying traditional German fare. I honestly think there's a chance that a Republican could win New York. Even though de Blasio is an independent, anybody with an IQ over 30 knows independents are basically Democrats within the politician range. They side, they get financed. So I think de Blasio is going to hurt him. I think de Blasio is going to hurt that whole cause. I don't think de Blasio has a chance in hell at re-election. But these are assessments I'm making from 1,000+ miles away. Oh, let's see. Where are we at? And this is something that I thought would happen. In fact, me and my father-in-law had this discussion. Because even though he's a liberal, he is not for, the illegal aliens and what the Democrat Party has been doing with it. And he agrees as soon as you put some pressure that there was going to be a lot of self-deportation. President Trump's executive orders to increase enforcement and follow existing immigration laws is leading some illegal aliens to self-deport. Once you start cracking down where they don't have the means to get jobs, where they understand that there is a ever-present looking for them, they're going to want to leave. You turn the pressure up, just like you would do on any other criminal. You turn the pressure up to get them to turn themselves in. And in a report by the Pueblo Chieftain, sources told the newspaper that the illegal immigrants, fearful of being prosecuted and deported by the Department of Homeland Security, are self-deporting primarily back to Mexico. Where else would they do? Sources report that some undocumented families have left the area for Mexico rather than run the risk of having a parent arrested or even sentenced to prison for immigration violations, the newspaper reported. According to the reports, Families began self-deporting after a total of 14 illegal aliens in Pueblo, Colorado area had been arrested and deported. Many of the individuals arrested had previously come to the United States on an H-2A foreign guest worker visa, but overstayed and had been living in the country illegal for years. In one case, a 48-year-old Benito Rubio, who died in a federal custody because he was set to be deported, was facing felony charges after illegally remaining in the United States despite federal orders to deport. Self-deportation of illegal aliens comes just as Attorney General Jeff Sessions led the charge in the Trump administration to reinstate criminal prosecution for first-time border crossers, a break from the lax open border policies of the Obama administration. You leave those policies open, the border becomes open. We're not talking rocket science here. It's pretty simple. You have lax laws, they're going to come in because they have no fear. You put the clamps on them, not only are you going to halt them from coming in, and it's not going to stop 100%. You're still going to have some try to make it in. But what it does is slow down. And it's like if you have a dam breaking. Do you just allow the water to rush in? Or do you try to patch it so it's a trickle? You can handle a trickle. The deluge coming in, you can't control. That's where you get overrun with water. And that's how you get overrun with illegals. And that's what was happening. Our law enforcement was getting to the point where it couldn't handle it. Our government wasn't listening. Our government officials weren't listening. Some of them are still not listening. You finally got some Democrats going, this wasn't a smart idea that we did. We went down the wrong path. Maybe it's not Trump. Maybe we're not listening to the people who we're supposed to be working for. No. The Democrats are listening to the dark money that they complain so much about. They complain about dark money. Let me tell you, they're getting it. Because if they weren't getting their fair share, they would have stopped at 100% decades ago. They complain about it because then people sit there and think the Republicans are dirty for it. And the whole time, the Democrats are taking it and laughing. It's simple. It's simple. I mean, they do it all the time. They complain about exactly what they're doing. It's like a magician. They tell you, look at this hand. Look at this hand. Watching this hand. In the meantime, you're not watching the other hand that's picking your damn pocket and getting your watch. So, the enforcement is going on. First-time border crossers are being convicted with misdemeanors. If they illegally re-enter, they will be hit with felony charges. Under Obama administration, former Attorney General Eric Holder actually halted all prosecution in some border sectors. I didn't know it was his job to pick and choose which laws to enforce. I thought it was the job of the Attorney General to enforce the laws. It was the job of the president to enforce the laws. I thought it was Congress who made law. So if you don't like the laws, change them. And if you want immigration to change, let's do what Democrats promised we would do decades ago. Let's secure the border. They promised to do that. Then they said, well, if we change this immigration law first, then we promise we're going to sit down and talk about securing the border. And the Republicans were dumb enough to fall for it. And what happened? Democrats never came to the table to sit down to actually secure the border. As someone else once said, if for a minute, the Democrats thought that these illegal immigrants would vote Republican, you're damn right that border would be secured in 5 seconds flat. That is the only reason why they allow open borders. It's simple, people. It's simple math here. You flood a country with people who don't give a shit about that country. You do away with national pride. You have no national pride. They have no problem going to a global-type government. What do you think they're doing in the European Union? You flood the countries with foreigners. Nobody gives a shit about their actual country. And now you got the EU talking about building an EU army. Oh, okay, you're going to build a European army. That's fine. It means we don't have to defend you like we've been. Bravo, build it. Our guys and our equipment can come back. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Trying to check something out. It's weird, because mine, I show it going the right way. It's weird. That's what your t-shirt looks like when you look in the mirror. I saw it originally when you said it, Kel. I thought I got it corrected. Now you got my head going, what the hell? Because it's... I'm watching one of the broadcasts, and it doesn't seem reversed. Come on, go live. Yeah, I'm seeing my broadcast where it's correct. Sure you're not looking in the mirror? Checking it, and then we'll get on with the show. I dumped over to a picture real quick, and that ought to tell me. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm seeing it in the correct. Yeah, I got the show back up and running, Kel. It took me a little bit. I'm not looking that good. Got to shave my head. Too much hair on my head. And I need to drop a shitload of weight that I haven't been able to drop. That's still pissing me off. With my hair, it was, okay, right before my daughter went up to her grandparents for the month. And she has done it once or twice before. She wanted to color her hair. I said, all right. We went and got the stuff. So I bleached it. There was some left over. She goes, Dad, bleach yours. And she actually wanted me to dye my hair. She had picked, the beard. No. Goatee stays. The goatee stays. I had to cut it short because I had a court date for disability. So I had to cut it short. So I had it down to about there. I had to cut it real tight. So I'm growing the goatee back. The hair I need to shave off. But it's hard to see with the glare from the light. My daughter actually wanted me to dye. She got electric lizard green and vampiric red. So what we did is around the base, around the back of her head, we did it about 2 inches. And it was a mistake, but it worked out. the bleach really got the right side, and it lightened up. Well, it darkened. It didn't get as much bleach on the left side. So the red was real bright on one side and became a dark red on the other, but it was a nice fade going across the back. And then I took that top section of her hair, and if you're watching the video, just that top section, and I bleached that all out. And I did that electric lizard green. And that came out to different colored greens, from a fluorescent green to almost a yellow. Oh, my God. So she told me, because there was extra bleach, so we got the tips. Let's see. There you go. Now you can see it. So I had to cut that out. Yeah, and I have a daughter. I got to do things that I may not normally do. But it's my daughter. There's nothing I want to do for my daughter. Saves us some money, and it was fun. The three of us were in the bathroom. You know, the wife's helping, I'm helping, and, you know, it was three of us just having some fun. Kind of a family bonding. One of those things my daughter will probably remember later on in life. And that's what life is about, those small memories. And I look at it this way with her. She could do that now. She can have fun now when she's a kid and in school. So when she gets out, she'll have a lot of this phase out of her. And she won't be doing this when she goes looking for a job and stuff. Because I looked like a hoodlum in my teens. I know I did. I looked bad. I did. It cost me some jobs. So hopefully she'll learn from my mistakes. God, I miss my little booger butt. Oh, she gets mad. And funny thing is, she's got a mouth on her. And I'm not talking disrespectful. We whip back and forth with jokes and comments to each other. She is a smartass already. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in for it. She's just, and I said it earlier, I was just talking to my wife during the break again. She's just, she's more worried about helping everybody else get through the death of her great-grandmother, my wife's grandmother. And she's up there with her grandparents, that's her grandmother's mother, just passed away. And she's not crying. She's more worried about everybody else, taking care of them. And it just, she's enjoying the stay with her grandparents, but she got, on top of it, she's flying to California because my wife's brother, father-in-law, passed away 2 days before the grandmother did. There's no funeral for the grandmother, but there's a funeral for my brother-in-law's father-in-law. So my grandmother and my daughter are flying out for that. And my daughter's she's just, there to help. Right by the side of her grandmother and doing whatever she can to help. She has been, I don't know what happened. She hit 6th grade. She got done with 6th grade this year, and she went from not doing anything around the house, bitching and moaning, to, I'll get it, I'll do it, let me help. And it's been amazing. I couldn't ask for a better daughter. And she loves this show. She doesn't listen to it, but she loves it. And I know I got to redo the commercials, and she was yelling at me about it before she left, because when are we going to redo them, Dad? We need to redo them. I want to redo mine. She's a booger butt. So, all right. I've been off topic enough talking about all that. It's been, like I said, it's been a hard couple of days with the passing of my wife's grandmother. She was a beautiful woman. Just one of those once-in-a-lifetime type woman. Not a negative thing. She couldn't even say damn. Nothing like that. This woman, just not a mean thing ever said about anybody. Now, if you pissed her off, and it took a lot, but once you got to that point, you would never know, because she just would never talk to you again. But she didn't get mad. She just, it's done. And I had some great conversations. She was always there if we needed a helping hand. And it's, as she put it, she'd rather see the joy helping us than, saving the money until after she passes away and she doesn't get to see the joy that it brings. And she'll be greatly missed. Greatly missed. I know I keep harping on that. It's just on my mind, people, and I do apologize. It's just on my mind. My wife's still hurting from it. She was very close. She spent a lot of time with her grandmother, grandfather. A lot of time. So it's hitting her hard. All right. Businesses warn of price hikes and staff cuts as minimum wage increases kick in certain areas. More than a dozen cities and counties across the country rang in the summer season by raising their minimum wage, but businesses warn that the bid to boost workers' pay could backfire on employees just like it has in Seattle. And cities stretching from California to Illinois to Oregon, minimum wage increased up to $15.20 on July 1st, the start of their fiscal year. But following in the Seattle's footstep in the fight for 15 could come with complications. Los Angeles and 7 other California cities began climbing towards the $15 an hour goal with the latest batch of wage hikes. Los Angeles upped its minimum wage from $10.50 an hour to $12, aiming to hit $15 by 2020. But Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce president, a lot of businesses going the robot service route, and there's a lot. You have a lot of fast food, and we have Kel. Kel's in the chat room. I love Kel. Jeez, you've been there for a long time with me, Kel, and I greatly appreciate it. Dan the Man Butcher, how the hell are you doing, sir? And you better not be working. You better be chilling out. Better be chillaxing, or I'm going to put my foot up your ass. And we got BZ making an appearance in the room. He's getting ready to open the saloon up. But I find it funny. There's so many of these people fought to get the wage increase. A lot of people kept quiet. And now they're speaking up. And it's leaving business owners with limited options. We know employers have 3 options: raise prices, reduce number of emails, or cut employee hours. In Pasadena, California, the hour minimum also went from $10.50 to $12. Local Chamber of Commerce president Paul Little said he was already hearing about businesses cutting staff in the run-up to the increase. We've been hearing from restaurants and retail members that they can't sustain. Folks at the low end are letting people go. And if you look at Seattle, it's been a mix of what's going on. Because you had the high-end restaurants that are already paying their employees higher rates. So it didn't affect them. Didn't have to worry about that because their employees are already making over what the new minimum wage is. But the lower-end restaurants are shutting down or laying people off. And it was warned this would happen, but nobody wanted to listen. Because what's going to happen? You raise the minimum wage. Fine. Everybody's making $15 an hour. Great. Guess what? The prices of everything are going to go even higher than they were before. So it's going to be harder for someone to live on $15 an hour than it is at $10 an hour. Because once a company realizes they can up their wages and get away with it, they're going to add a little increase so that they make a little money off the increase. So we're going to be right back to where we were. Except there's going to be more people back out of work again. People are just now getting to work. And if you go to High Plains Pundit, HighPlainsPundit.com, they have a great article, minimum wage equals lower pay and less. What's also funny, in Seattle, you've seen a lot of these lower-end restaurants, when the pay increase went in, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm getting a raise. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to get my food stamps? Oh, fuck this. Cut my hours. I don't want to be making all this. You know, they hit higher tax brackets, paying more in taxes, making less money. They didn't think of this, but the politicians, they knew that was going to go about. They knew it was going to happen. And they didn't give a rat's ass. And people bought into it. And all that was and is, because I have a great fear here in Florida, we're going to see a Democrat run for governor. Well, I know we're going to have a Democrat run for governor. What we're going to see is there's one that already said his stance is going to be raising the minimum wage. He's buying votes. He's going to be buying votes. Tonight on, hang on, brain fart. I got to do one thing at a time instead of trying to do 20 things at a time. But exactly what he's doing is he's buying votes. He's trying to get people to vote for him because he's going to raise the minimum wage. Who the hell wouldn't vote to raise their own minimum wage? Also, tonight's BZ Berserker Bobcat Saloon will have a special guest of Jeff Dunce. Jeff is the host of The Lid. Great commentator, great articles. So tune in at 11 p.m. for BZ's Berserker Bobcat Saloon with special guest Jeff Dunce. It's amazing. It's amazing how these people think. And I thought you weren't allowed to buy votes. That, to me, it's a blatant buying votes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a live broadcast, just go to shrmedia.com. Click on the Listen, Watch Live button. And also, while you're there, join in the conversation. Jump in the chat room. Join Dan, BZ, and Kel. They don't bite unless you ask. Oh, man, it's... Oh, where are we? Oh. Now to come to the subject, I'm getting tired of talking about. Oh. And this is something that I would like to know. Who is helping New York Times? And why? Well, I know why, but they're seeking to do as much maximum damage as they can to Donald Trump Jr. Oh, Kel Nips. Tuesday, on MSNBC's Morning Joe, network analyst Mark Halpern observed that whoever might be the source for the New York Times reporting on Donald Trump Jr. about a meeting between Russian lawyer and Trump Jr. was attempting to inflict maximum damage. It's... And how many times have we heard these articles with unnamed sources, and it never seems to turn out to be correct? And it doesn't seem to have turned out correct. They're twisting the story to make it fit a narrative. And it's getting tiresome. They're stretching. They're reaching. I know everybody's screaming, it's the sky's falling. As I hit the mic, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Oh, my God, this proves their collusion. This proves there's treason. This proves that Bigfoot exists. That's how crazy they sound. Now, please don't come to me attacking me over Bigfoot. Hang on. My cup is sweating. It's getting nervous. Because Bigfoot's a whole different conversation, just throwing that in there as a smart-ass comment, so no hate mail on that. And if there is hate mail, just send it to crash@reaver.one. But a partial transcript was filed. Scarborough, so Mark Halpern. Hi, Melanie. Dang, the gang's all here. Notice that the first explanation on Saturday, the meeting is about adoption. It's about their kids. Their statement on Saturday says absolutely nothing about the New York Times, say dirt offered on Hillary Clinton. Halpern, I'm hearing a lot of interesting things, and one of the things that is not explained here is why he said what he said on Saturday and then was forced to change his story. Scarborough repeated forced. Forced to change the story by seemingly what the New York Times says that they will learn. Well, whoever is helping the New York Times with these stories seems to be doing it in a way like maximum damage on Donald Trump Jr., even if you accept his Sunday's version, accept his Sunday version, ask no questions, have no suspicions. He is in the world of hurt. Well, I don't exactly agree with that. Because now it's coming out the lawyer has admitted that she wanted to talk about Russian adoption. She has no connection to Russian government. There is no red herring going on. It is another bullshit story from the New York Times to try to hurt Trump in a long line of bullshit stories. Donald Trump Jr. is so proven in his innocence. He has dumped Oh, yeah, Dan, you make a good point there, and I was going to get to that. This is what we learned. Donald Trump Jr. was conducting an investigation to discover whether Hillary Clinton was receiving illegal campaign contributions from Russians, and Trump Jr. concluded that she didn't receive any illegal Russian contribution, at least not from, I ain't trying that name, heck with that. And 3, there was no meeting between Trump Jr. and the Russians. Donald Trump Jr. was invited to a meeting with Rob Goldstone, who said that the Russian lawyer with documents proving that Russians were funding Hillary Clinton campaign would be there. It's all being blown out of proportion, whichever way you look at it. New York Times has done this time and time and time again. They have these anonymous sources, which don't seem to be right. I don't think they've gotten anything right on anonymous sources. And then they try to hide behind, it was a mistake. A mistake happens once. As often as it's happening, that's not a mistake. They're doing this on purpose to try to attack. Exactly, Dan. And too bad we didn't have the goods on Hillary Clinton. We'll probably never know how much Putin paid her off to sell our uranium. Yeah, we do. There was, $100 million given to Clinton Foundation? So, yeah, 124. Sorry, I didn't finish reading your comment there, Dan. 124 million they paid. And plus the $500,000 that they gave to Bill Clinton to do a 2-minute speech. You know, she has more connections to Russia than Trump ever did. The Democrat Party has more connections to Russia. And I love there's some Republicans finally jamming that right down their throat. They're going after Podesta. They're turning this on to Hillary. And I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. The investigation into Russia, I love, because you're not hearing much out of the government side of it. Because why? Those investigations have now turned around and pointing the fingers at the Democrat Party, and now the Democrats are going, oh, shit, we overplayed our hand. I said that from day one, that it would turn on the Democrats and point to them. And I don't want to hear because Donald Trump Jr. met with somebody about possible dirt on Hillary Clinton. How about the fact that Hillary Clinton's campaign was involved in that peeing dossier? That was not an American dossier. That was done by a British personnel. It was done by a foreigner. They do the same thing. Every goddamn campaign, if they hear there's dirt on their opponent, will send somebody to go do it. Donald Trump had a small campaign compared to Hillary Clinton and kept certain people in the loop and only allowed to let certain people deal with stuff. And it happens time and time again, and that's what I was getting to, Dan. It happens time and time again. You have these people that pay and go and talk to all these officials, foreign officials. How did this dossier even come about? This Russian dossier of supposedly Trump's going to Russia and getting peed on and all that fucking crap. So, it seems like there's a huge amount of hypocrisy going on here. Because they're pointing out one can't do it, but the other one has done it. And it's another New York Times piece that is full of bullshit. When they start naming, maybe we ought to find some people to start doxing these supposed unanimous sources. Because I said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. I don't think there's anybody telling these stories. I think it's the writer. I think it's the writers coming up with bullshit and hiding behind, well, it's an anonymous source told me. So now you can't dispute the article. You can't question about it because they don't have to give up their anonymous sources. So all they have to do is make up a piece and say, this anonymous source told me. And you can write whatever the hell you want. Sorry, I don't normally talk about getting peed on. I haven't talked too much about that dossier because it's... I hate talking about this, and I've said it, I hate talking about this. But if we don't talk about it, we don't put out the facts, we don't put out the information, then the only voice is the lies. And I try to proverbially beat it into my wife's head. She's like, who cares? They're still going to do it, so why even bother? Because if they're the only voice out there, their voice looks like the majority. And you have to show them that they're not the majority, that their bullshit is not the truth. So I'll keep going over this and going over this. And Dan, and I'm going to steal that because you put it best when I saw that. We now live in a time where the National Enquirer has more credibility than the New York Times and the Washington Post. Hey, look at that. Donald Trump put Russian dressing on a salad. Collusion! There's proof there's collusion. I can see Schiff going. He put Russian dressing on a salad. That's proof of collusion and treason. You'll have Maxine Waters. We need to impeach him. He used Russian salad dressing. How dare he do that? Look, Russia went to Brighton Beach. That's proof that he's colluding with the Russians. And I love how the anonymous sources, I'm getting tongue-tied. First, it's one person unable to speak. Oh, they didn't believe that story. There was 5 people that talked to us. Oh, wait a minute. They didn't believe that story. 9 people came to us. Have you noticed the number has grown? The less we believe, the more they say these people have come forward. Yeah, if anybody remembers, Maxine Waters wanted Trump impeached because he had 2 scoops of ice cream while everybody else only had 1. The president had 2 scoops of ice cream. Oh, my God. I guess I should be impeached from being a dad because I always have more scoops than my daughter. I'm also a big fat daddy. She's a little kid. It's Chicken Little syndrome. Every day, it's the sky's falling, the worst case scenario. Everybody's going to die. 93 million people a day get murdered by guns. If you change one word of the Obamacare, everybody's going to instantaneously explode. It's Chicken Little. The sky's falling every day. But every day I go outside, I look up, the sky is still above me. A bright blue, Beautiful sky. Yes, it's warm, but I live in Florida, so it's supposed to be warm, even though it's cooler than where Sean was the other day. Sackhead Sean. What is it, Sacramento? California, you guys were 110, and we were like 92. But the sea's not taking over. Russia's not invading. Donald Trump isn't. And what's funny is if you look at it, everything that Democrats are doing and accusing is the same thing except magnified that people said about Obama. These Russian investigation, I've even heard Democrats admit it, that it's nothing but payback for the Hillary Clinton Benghazi investigation. This is their payback. Problem is they're blowing their proverbial load way too soon. But they have to do something. They have to do something because if everybody knew how good things were actually turning around, if they actually reported it, the Democrats would be in a world of trouble. They would be in so bad. They'd be in worse shape than they are, and I don't think they're doing that good as it is. But if people realize the truth on what's going on behind the scenes with Trump administration and the stuff that's going on positively, Democrat Party would be in trouble, big time. Dang, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden, just my audio just went south on me. Maybe it's my hearing. They gotta try to block and cover up Trump's administration because it's really hurting them. You'll hear a lot of sayings on this show that you might not say, Melanie. I'm a Jersey boy, so wait a minute. You're a Jersey girl, aren't you? If I'm remembering right. So you should be used to stuff like that. I'm rude, crude, and obnoxious, and I love it. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh. Yeah, my wife's a nun too. It's don't ask for none, don't offer none, because you ain't going to get none. So, yeah, my wife's a nun, too. I've known a few women like that. And on that, NFL has experienced a softer than expected demand for advertising season after the Colin Kaepernick protest. After nearly double-digit ratings free fall last year, the NFL experienced a lighter-than-expected demand for advertising buys for the upcoming season. I'm just wondering what they're going to blame this on, because, in reality, they're going to come up with every goddamn excuse. They blamed the low ratings last year on presidential election, which didn't make any sense. Election got done, and the ratings still stayed in the toilet. Okay, what does none stand for? I don't know if I'm getting set up for a joke or if Mel's being serious on this. She says, I thought about becoming a nun until I remembered what nun meant. All right, while she types that in, we'll see. No T. All right, a number of factors have conspired to cast a bit of a pale over this year's NFL market, which some insiders say is the softest since the Great Recession of 2008. Oh, so sort of along my joke, don't offer none because you ain't getting none. Don't ask for none. I've read one of my EMS partners was talking about this one woman. He went through like a 5-minute thing of none about this woman, and it was like, dude, you need a life. Now he's a cop. Okay, I got it. Oh man, it just. They're gonna try to come up with any and every excuse for why ratings are down when it comes down to Colin Kaepernick opened a can of worms and a bunch of players backed him up on it. People are tired, and look at ESPN. People are tired. They want, when they're watching sports, yeah, he's got no, yep. But when they're watching sports, they want sports. I have fun talking politics. I have fun doing this show. I talk to Dan here and there. I talk to Sackhead Sean. I talk to a lot of people about politics. But it's when it's time to watch sports, that's what I want to listen to. I want to listen to the sports, what's going on. Now, me, I'm not a big football. I watch football, but I'm more hockey. So when I'm watching hockey, I don't want to watch some announcer talk politics while the game's going on, or even during intermission. And really where it pissed me off, I can't remember who the jackass was. It was halftime, and he gave this anti-gun speech. I think it was after the Sandy Hook shooting. And he was chastising people for owning guns, and he was going on a rampage about it. And it was like, I just turned it off. And it's happened a couple times where these announcers put it upon themselves to give this commentary, a social commentary that has nothing to do with what I'm watching. Or they try to link it in there. And it just turns me off from wanting to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And then to find out that the NFL, for all their patriotic stuff that they do, yeah, they get paid. The NFL gets paid to allow that to happen. Yeah, Bob Costa, thank you, Mel. Thank you very much. They were charging the military to do those events to honor the military. The NFL is not as generous and patriotic and pro-military as we all were led to believe. It is a money grab that they were forcing the military to pay to do it. So all this is coming to light, and that's hurt the NFL. I mean, and like I said, Colin Kaepernick opened a huge can of worms. It wasn't just one little thing. It opened a whole can of worms and started a pretty big backlash because people are tired of it, and they stepped away, and a lot of them are going, oh, my God, my life's better. It's like they kicked heroin or something. I've seen some people on Facebook, oh, I don't do the fantasy football anymore. I have a lot more time with my kids. I have a lot more time with my wife. I have more money in my pocket. And they're talking like they quit doing heroin. It's like, oh, my God. It still boggles my mind that the NFL sort of stands behind Kaepernick. And what even makes me funny is they had a protest recently at the NFL headquarters. A group wants the NFL to force a team to sign Kaepernick because they believe he deserves to play and that he is not being allowed to play because his political views. That's why he's been blackballed. Well, his play as a quarterback deteriorated. I was a Colin Kaepernick fan, too. I liked him as a quarterback. But let's look at, there was the gay player. He got drafted, that kid. He got cut very quickly from the team that drafted him, St. Louis Rams. And then, the NFL headquarters was calling around to teams, begging a team to pick him up. And I think it was the Dallas Cowboys or one of the teams picked him up on the practice squad. He ended up getting drop-kicked real quick. The only reason why he got drafted was because he was gay. If they didn't, it would have been, oh, he didn't get drafted because he was gay, Now it's people need to be drafted and get to play sports because of their sexual orientation or their political orientation. They deserve a right to play. You know, it's scary in today's society with the outlook that they have. It really is. And to get back real quick, because the show's almost done with, and I know BZ's getting ready to open up the bar. BZ's Berserker Bobcat Saloon's getting ready to open its doors for customers. And that'll be at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But when New York Times ran that article, they never even saw the emails. They were told what was in them. And if you remember, the last time they ran a story like that, I believe that was the Comey memos. They never saw the memos, but they were told what was in them, and that's what they went on. Well, now the New York Times has done it again with this whole Russia lawyer bullshit because they were told what was in it. As I said earlier, Donald Trump Jr. is so sure of himself with what went on, he's actually released all of his emails. And it wouldn't be surprised me if that lawyer released hers because she's been out in the spotlight and she's been backing up Donald Trump Jr. The only one that's going on a negative is the liberal media. Otherwise, everybody else, there's nothing to it. Nothing to it. It's a nothing burger. It's so tiresome. I don't know. We're heading down a path in this country. And we've been heading down this path. And we deviated it slightly when we elected Donald Trump. I know he was a lot of people's, it wasn't their first choice. But I think in today's environment, he was the only choice. He was the only choice that we had. Democrats know how to beat Republicans, and I've talked about it extensively. Through the rules for radical, the 12 rules. You accuse them of something, whether it's true or false. False is even better because you're trying to disprove a negative. It's kind of impossible to disprove a negative. So said Republican chases that for the entire campaign. And if they start to veer from it, you level the charges again. And you make him chase that negative, that lie. Example, 2010 election, Tea Party. They came out, accused him of being racist. Democrats then got to talk about whatever they wanted to talk about, why Tea Party chased that racist comment. And now it's come out. They made it up because they knew the Tea Party was going to hammer them over the jobless rate. And they had no answer for it. So instead of trying to debate that, they just made false accusations. And that's what it looks like here. They are taking whatever they can, throwing it at the wall like pasta, and seeing what sticks. They don't care what damage they do or who they do it to. But they are desperate. You know they're desperate when you see Obama back in the limelight. You would think they would want him to step to the side and fade away so a new person can step up. But doesn't seem that's going to happen. Don't forget, everybody, July 19th through the 22nd is Freedom Fest. We're going to have, I know Sean Sackhead Clint's going to be there. I believe BZ's going. I'm not sure who else. Sackhead Sean's going to be sitting on a panel for Second Amendment conversation. It's going to be great. If you can get out there for it, head on out. I'll be stuck here in Florida. Got some ducks in a row that next year I think I'm going to make it out there. I really do. That's going to be it for the show. I want to thank everybody. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And everybody stay tuned for BZ's Berserker Bobcat Saloon. And if I had the right stuff prompted, I would have been out of here by now. See you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.